Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about my experience so far here in Cuba. Right now, I'm only 90 miles away from the United States, and it feels like I am worlds away, a whole separate world. Now, it's not all bad. There are some positive things about Cuba. I don't know if I've ever met a people or a culture that's as beautiful and as genuine as those that are here. People are so happy and interested in sharing their experiences with you. And in a sense, you're their window or their door to the open world. They want to hear about where you're from as well. And here a lot of people have been telling me about the difficulties that they had with life. I've met some of the most beautiful and bright souls here in Cuba. Tom Jefferson, he's probably maybe my favorite person I've met thus far here in La Habana. Mr. Jefferson is 82 years old. He lives in Cayo Hueso, one of the roughest neighborhoods here in La Habana, and he's just really a beautiful soul. He did not want anything from me. He was just telling me about his perspective, his experience living under the period of American domination until Comandante, El Presidente, Fidel Castro Ruz came in, and then the Soviet period, and then thereafter the special period, where Cuba was really struggling to get on. Now, this is my first time here in Havana. However, people have been telling me that it's very, very hard to accumulate wealth here, right? Getting a loan from a bank isn't really a thing. And the wages here are really, really low. We're talking about somebody making, on average, $100 to $130 a month. Can you imagine surviving on that in a place where there's rampant inflation and the cost of basic items are kind of expensive? You know, oddly enough, Cuba, Havana at least, is, you know, the capital of a socialist paradise, if you will. And this is probably the toughest I've ever seen any situation. But as a socialist paradise that is in the Caribbean without a lot of resources, it's really hard for them to go it alone and get on. Yes, transportation, education, and the healthcare system is free. Yes, it is free for people. However, there are associated costs with that. How do you pay for shoes for your child for school when it's really hard for you to make any money? You know, there aren't subsidies for clothing, right? You still have to pay a lot of money in order to purchase things that are relatively inexpensive in other places. But let's backtrack here. I don't think I've ever met a people and a culture that is as vibrant as what I've seen here in Cuba. You know, the nightlife here is rich. They're very much into their music and their traditions. I heard a lot of rumba. I heard a lot of son cubano. And I also went to Callejon de Hamel. Callejon is really, really cool. It focuses on the Afro-Cubano experience as well as the music and the art. And even at times they're singing in Yoruba, the language of many Africans that were transported here during the enslavement period. And Santeria is definitely an Afro-Cubano thing. I don't know if it's the national religion or one of the national religions along with Catholicism, but there are a lot of people who are practicers of Santeria here in Havana from what I've seen. When people are being initiated into the religion, right, you first have to start with white. You have to wear white for an entire year. And that's something that I've seen a lot here in the streets. A lot of people walking around in only white. No, ladies, I'm sorry, or hetero ladies, I'm sorry. I'm going to talk about the women here in Cuba. Some of the most beautiful women that I've ever seen in my life, if not the most beautiful. They're literally coming in every shade, in every body shape, size, and people are very genuine in terms of how they look. They don't have the resources to go out and buy all of these things that are artificial. Very natural, extremely beautiful, and extremely feminine as well. But not feminine in a way that's subservient to men, sort of like just celebrating their femininity. And it's kind of awesome to see. Coming here as a foreigner, I've noticed there have been many that have been willing to draft your boy, if you will. I think there's a lot of desperation here because of the economic situation, and it causes people to act in a way that they wouldn't normally act. So as a foreigner, I recognize that there's a lot of privilege here that I have and that I'm moving with. You know, back in the United States, I'm middle class. I grew up middle class. I'm middle class now. I'm probably going to die middle class. I have no problem with that. However, here in Cuba, I'm definitely within a different social tier or socioeconomic tier than the people that are here in terms of what I can afford, in terms of the things that I have. Me walking around with a camera was a big deal to a lot of people, and they knew instantly that I wasn't from Cuba because of the things that I had. Not necessarily because of what I was wearing, but because of the things that I had. This camera, for example. For my sisters, if you guys are objectively beautiful, then you guys are going to experience some catcalling here in Cuba. I've noticed a bit of it. I don't like it, but it's something that's been happening, something that I've seen. Now, when I was outside at the street festival, I saw a fair amount of people that were in the LGBTQ IA plus experience. And it was very, very nice to see that a lot of them were able to move around unbothered and just as normal members of society. The fluctuating price thing, the Caribbean thing as I call it, is real here. It happens when it's obvious that you are a foreigner. In a lot of places the prices are written, and I make sure that I look at that very closely and see that they see me looking at it so that I don't get upcharged. And I'm gonna put one place on blast because I know that they're doing this. Sky Green. Guys, if you're going to go to Sky Green, make sure you look at the reviews online on Google, okay? Everyone there on Google, everyone there on TripAdvisor tells you that it is an upcharging scam. And that's not cool. I'm sorry. But guys, please understand that this is not a Cuban thing. This is a Caribbean thing. It happens in a lot of Caribbean places. The only place where I would say I haven't seen it is maybe Puerto Rico, okay? And if somebody can tell me that they've seen it in Puerto Rico, please put it in the comments below. Remember, this is a conversation. I reply to every comment. Cuba can be a very inexpensive vacation. I'm staying in this house for $25 a night. I'm here kind of on the borderline of Old Havana and Cayo Hueso in Chinatown. Like, I'm right in this little section here. And I mean, going outside, the buildings kind of look a little bit hurt, but aside from that, it's really cool here. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but right outside there is a concert going on. I guess it happens Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where I guess maybe the government is throwing concerts and parties for the people that live here. And I can tell you that it has been awesome. Literally street parties every night that I've been here thus far. I've paid way more money for food in New York than I've paid here. However, the quality of the stuff here just hasn't been good thus far. When you're traveling here as an American, you must bring cash. US bank cards do not work here. US bank cards do not work here. So you have to do it old school, and you have to bring a lot of cash. My wallet looks like my grandfather's wallet right now. Despite what it may say online, foreign currency is extremely valuable here. I mean, extremely valuable. So make sure you bring euros or you bring pounds. You can even bring US dollars, but they're just not as valuable as euros or pounds. You bring it here and you exchange it. And don't exchange it at the cash houses. Exchange it on the informal market with someone that you trust, okay? They will very likely give you a better rate than the cash houses, and also it helps them a long way as well. For transportation here, you will get upcharged. It's just a fact of the situation here as a tourist. If you're not speaking in Spanish, they're gonna get you. My host actually warned me that I should do my best to try to speak in my my Dominicanish accent that I can mimic, and I haven't used it, and I probably paid the price a little bit when it comes to getting a taxi to go certain places. Listen, the humidity here is next level. Imagine Florida, right? South Florida, so Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach. Now, the great thing about those places is you're getting a lot of breeze off of the water, and also because it's Florida, you don't walk as much. Here in Cuba, in Havana, you do a lot of walking, depending on your situation. But I've done a lot of walking while I've been here, and I've been sweating my life away. It looks like outside the rain has started to stop a little bit, so I'm gonna go throw on my plastic poncho and go party in the raindrops. Here we go.